Well, guys, what are y'all all talking about? Speedy, what are you saying? Spooky, how's it going? You keeping an eye on that weather? What about Helene? I heard she's been upgraded to a tropical storm. Gonna make landfall as Cat 3 hurricane. What you say about that? Oh, you don't know yet? It's too early to tell? Okay. Well, your mother, Cleo, down there is cleaning you up. Speedy, what's going on, my little princess? You don't know? Oh, okay. Well, it's getting late. But we had to wait till it cooled down. 90 degrees today. Bright sunshine, well, partly cloudy. You know. But it was a wonderful day in Mr. Tom's neighborhood. As you can tell, the kitties are all here. With me. Well, 2 of them are at my feet. And Speedy's chilling in the grass. Complaining about something, as always. So, Spooky, you keeping up with the weather, right? You stay on top of it. Let me know if that thing starts to go into hurricane mode, okay? I hear it could be coming close this time. Oh, the spaghetti models say they don't know. Well, as long as I know you're on top of it. Okay. Oh, well, hello there, friends and family. So good to see you again. Didn't hear you walk up as normal. And that, I guess, because the kitty crew's all here at my feet. But yeah, it's been a wonderful day in Mr. Tom's neighborhood. And yesterday was a wonderful day too. And if you've been following me along, there's a youngin' on a mini bike having fun. Do you remember those days? I do. So yeah, yesterday was my 5th and final radiation treatment. And you know, the course of treatment that I selected and my doctor was what they call the ultra hyper fractionation treatment. And that's where you get 5 ultra high doses of radiation over a period of time. And I've had it over the last 3.5 weeks. No, 2.5 weeks. It seems like it was much longer. Maybe it was. Yeah, I think it was more like 3 weeks because there were problems. And yesterday, Monday, would be no exception. But I'm going to tell you what. Even with what happened, it turned out all right. So let me tell you what happened. Because it's what happened that convinces me more in the power of prayer and in the fact that God, if we pray and do diligence and we lift up our hearts and our souls, He'll come through for us every time. So the day started, well actually the night before started off what would be my final treatment. We'll pause for a brief mini bike intermission. Anyway, at least he's having fun. Yeah, I don't sleep well at all on the night before treatments. And I probably only got 2 to 3 hours sleep at best. And I was awakened at 8 o'clock. I actually awoke at 7:48. And then a very close good friend of mine, family member, called me at 8 just to make sure. And wished me well and good luck. And that's how the day started off. You know, of course you do things you always have to do. You have to go in and, you know, 2 hours before you got to clean out your innards. That's always nice, if you know what I mean. You got to take one of those fleet things. Make sure everything's nice and shiny clean inside. And of course then you got to shower and shave. Or I ain't been shaving much. Starting to get my no shave November beard going on for the winter time. Don't know if I'll keep it. but that's what we're doing right now. Looking scruffy. Yeah, and then I got my bottles of water together, got all dressed. We jumped in Alice, and off we went at 11:30. The appointment's at 12:30. And I arrived, I think it was at about 12:10. Now, I drank my bottled water like I'm supposed to at 1 hour before, which was 11:30 when I started out my journey. And I sat out in the car. I texted my friend that I was there. I played a hand of solitaire, and I said, well, I'll get up and go on in. And I walked on in at 12:15 and wrote down in the sign-in that I was there at 12:15 and appointment was 12:30. And I sat down with a little young radiation therapy. They've got a new one, young man. He's quite nice, very sympathetic. Popped his head into the waiting room at 12:22 and said, Mr. Himes, are you ready to go? I said, well, my appointment's at 12:30. Give me a little more time. Because I really wasn't having any urge to go, you know. Because the whole purpose of drinking all the water 1 hour before is get that bladder full, and that so you can proceed with the treatment. Because the full bladder stretches the bladder, therefore lessens the impact of the radiation beam damaging more tissue than if it was shrunken down and small. Plus, the water helps absorb some of the radiation and therefore lessens the impact of it. So there was all of that. So he came back at 12:28. He seemed to be ready to get going. He said, you think you're ready now? I said, well, I'm starting to, have that, a little bit of that urge. Let's see. So I go in. Of course, you got to get stripped down. They put you up on the machine. And here again, the first thing they got to do is do a CAT scan, which is incorporated into the machine you're treated on, and see how full your bladder is. Well, unfortunately for me, it was only about half full. So they came back in. They told me, well, you'll have to get down. And this time, like all the times before, we need you to get redressed because we have another patient we need to bring on in here while we're waiting for your bladder to get full, but it shouldn't take long. And I thought, well, this may not end well, because when my bladder gets full, that urgency to go gets very severe. But I begrudgingly went ahead and got dressed because, somebody else needed the machine right then and there. And went out and sat in the hall. And an elderly lady came by. They escorted her on in. And I think her treatment took about 20 minutes. And then they escorted her back out. Well, by this time, I knew it must be getting full. Because here again, I'm starting to get that real urge to go. So they take me in. I get undressed again, get on the machine. And all the time, just under my breath, oh yeah, I'm talking to Father God. Help me get through this. I've got to get through this last one. And they did the CAT scan again, and they said my bladder was full, we're ready to go. So they went and got the doctor. And that took a while. Now we've gotten to the point of where we're talking, and we're also gritting our teeth. Just a little bit. But he came in, he gloved up, lubed me up, if you know what I mean, and inserted the rectal balloon. Which, like I've said all through this, is the most uncomfortable part, other than the urge to pee, that I've experienced through the whole entire process. I've never felt no burning or any consequences of any kind of pain while going through the treatment. Can't even tell it's happening, other than I got a balloon up my butt and the urge to pee. So he got that done. They all left, went in the control room, lifted me up, and the treatment started. And it was at this point, because this has been a long time now with all this water in me, longer than any time before. And even though I still had an urge to go, it actually got less and not so extreme. Yeah, it actually did. I'm not lying to you. And based on the last 4 times, or really 6 or 7, because only 4 were successful and 3 were failures, oh, this time was looking like the easiest of all the times I'd ever went. Really it was. And it was over before I even knew it. And then I'm getting dressed. And they came on in, all of them. They were all happy. This is your last treatment, Mr. Tom. And they wanted to know if I wanted to ring the bell. See, they got this victory bell there that, I thought was there for when you become cancer-free. Well, according to them, they have you ring it when you're through with your therapy. And asked me if I wanted to ring it and all that. And I didn't know, because by now, that urge to go was becoming quite strong. And I told them, well, I guess I will. But I was sort of waiting to know whether I was cancer-free. And I'll talk about that in a minute. So I rushed off to the bathroom. Had to spend a little time in there, you might understand. Came back out. Nobody was around. And I sort of, stumbled around the hallway for a while. Decided, well, maybe they're waiting for me at the bell. I went in the waiting room. No, they weren't there. I don't know. Maybe they had to go get something. But I decided that I'd rather just go home. So I walked up to the front desk, explained to the nice little young lady at the front desk that, no, I apologize, but I've got to be at my son's. He's having some difficult times, and I need to spend some time with him. And he's expecting me. So y'all just have to excuse me. I got to get back on the road. But yeah, if all the others, especially considering the time, I was there from 12:15 to past 2 o'clock in the afternoon. I would have never been able to hold it that long, that much, any other time I'd ever went. I never even got close. I would drink the water 1 hour ahead, and I would be in severe need to pee when I got there. And as you all know, one day I couldn't hold it all in, so the treatment was canceled. But what I wanted to know most of all before I left was, well, how do we know I'm cancer-free now? Well, the doctor told me, sadly, that it'll be about 3 months. And I asked why. He said, well, it takes 3 months for everything to settle down and to react before we can do a PSA test and see what your PSA numbers are now. And if you don't know, PSA is a test, and it's a test for this certain type of substance in your urine that has a very strong indication that there's cancer in your prostate. It's not a 100% test, but in my case, knowing that going in, I had 3 tests done over a period of 2 or 3 weeks. All 3 were highly elevated. That's what made me decide to continue on. I didn't just rely on one. And 2 of the tests were done in totally different places at different labs. So I figured the accuracy of my tests were rather good. You can look all this stuff up, and I would suggest that if you're a man and you're facing this time in your life, you should start getting PSA tested at 50, would be my advice. And if you got one that comes up extra high, get another one. Maybe at a different lab, because you're messing with your life. So it's not all about the money. It's about how long you may live. So yeah, I've got to wait 3 months to get the PSA test to even see if my numbers have came down. Now, if indeed this 5-session course of radiation treatment has been successful, my numbers should be extremely low, like 1.5 to 2. So now it's just a waiting game. We have to see. But I'm thinking, based on how this last treatment went, and I know God and your prayers all had a hand in it, I'm thinking we'll come out fine, because I believe. So anyway, my last treatment's over, but my journey to the cure is not finished yet. Yep, there'll be PSA tests. There will most likely be an MRI at some point in time, around that time too, just to verify. And if all that comes out to be good, yeah, then I'm cured. So now I go on with life. I'm not going to spend a whole lot of time wondering if or is it gone or not. I'm just going to wait and see 3 months from now. So hey, now we can get on back to more happier things in life in Mr. Tom's neighborhood, and not be sitting out here on the front porch talking about doom and gloom for a while. So as you can see, we're losing the light. I just wanted to jump out here and give y'all the latest update. Thank you for all your thoughts and prayers and kind donations that you've made through Super Thanks and all of that. Cards and letters too. I love them. And I love all of y'all for what you do. And you know, as always, y'all take care out there. Stay safe, and may God bless you all as you bless those in your lives. From me, the Kitty Crew, Cleo, Spooky, Speedy, sometimes my night marauders, Heathcliff, old Fluffy Muffin, and of course there's Cowboy Dusty and the Possum Game, and we can't forget the Princess of the House. See you on that next episode of Mr. Tom's Neighborhood. Goodbye for now. Well guys, it's getting so dark, it's getting hard to see. Right, Cleo? I picked you up a treat from Family Dollar today. Would you like some? Your throat itching you? It's those mosquitoes, ain't it? Yeah. I'm with you on them. They're starting to come out. Already have been, right, Spooky? What do you say, Speedy? You want some chicken from Whiskas? Hey, they had it on clearance at Family Dollar. Well, hey, I'll run in and get you some, okay? Y'all hang tight. I think it's cool enough to eat now. And then I got to think about what Papa's going to eat. I know Gracie, what she's going to want. Meow Mix, as always. Later, all.